Often said here on the show, haven't we? It's very difficult, particularly for Prince Harry, more than Meghan Markle, to find out that when you are under the hands of a paymaster like Netflix, you really don't have that much control over what they want from you and what they do about you. And it's interesting also, isn't it? Because as we know, one of the biggest exports in the Netflix crown is indeed The Crown. But how does this now compare to the latest series, which will delve into the very indelicate background and life of the late Princess Diana? Let me explain. What's going to be really difficult for Prince Harry is this. Obviously, you know, when people pass away, people like to think the good thoughts about them, all the good deeds that they've done, all that sort of stuff, you know. And as we know, Prince Harry basically has said that he feels guided by his late mother every single day. And you can't blame him for that. You know, if that's what gives him comfort, obviously, that's the way he gets through life. And we do know, of course, that His Royal Highness Prince William has spoken rather openly about the difficulties that he went through following her sad demise. But you see, when you're making a TV drama, they like to make it as salacious and outlandish as possible. And as we've seen many times before on The Crown, they don't really care whether they stick to historical facts or not. It's a soap opera that sells well around the world. And I've been told exclusively that looking at Princess Diana's background and, more importantly, her many lovers during that particular period, it will prove very difficult viewing for Prince Harry. This particular period of her life will focus on the likes of James Hewitt, Hasnat Khan, and moving right up to Dodi Al Fayed. Now, it's again very unfortunate for all those concerned, because that's the problem, isn't it? By the people these people sadly leave behind, they are still part of the story. And of course, when that comes back to the big screen, all of their stories will be once again regurgitated. But for Prince Harry, of course, he won't want to relive some of these terrible situations in his life. He's spoken rather openly. But as I said at the beginning of this particular report, when you are paid and virtually owned by that particular company and as yet have had to deliver anything of substance that they feel they can get some of their very big, shall we say, return back so far, they're simply not going to take any notice of you. And as I also pointed out before, what's going to prove very difficult for Harry and Meghan is their recent return here back to the United Kingdom, which saw very loud boos upon the steps of St Paul's Cathedral, will just prove to the money men at Netflix just really how popular they are, which then in turn gives them carte blanche to do exactly what they want with his late mother's story. What a sad situation Harry's now found himself in, and I truly mean that. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.